Hi, my name is Jim McCarthy. The name of this talk is Secrets of Goal Setting for Peak Performance Teams. This is for the ICO 2.0 Virtual Summit, and I'm very happy to share this time with you. Let me ask you a question. What are you working on? What should you be working on? And what's your process for actually defining your goals and implementing them? Well, at the end of this 30-minute talk, I'm going to share with you a framework to help you prioritize what you're working on, all your projects and initiatives. I'm going to walk you through a whole process for defining your goals and making it in a way so that it's very easy to implement. And I'm going to walk you through a process for how you can operationalize your goals. And we'll also talk about different kinds of goals. Now, why should you listen to me? Well, a little bit of background on me, briefly. I have an MBA from Stanford. I was an early employee at Yahoo in 1997. Worked at other internet companies that have done pretty well also. I worked in the US and internationally on building high-performance teams, both in operations, in sales, in biz dev, and product management. Now I'm a leadership consultant where I teach companies how to build happy, high-performance teams. I live in San Francisco, and I'm delighted to have this opportunity to share with you right now some of the best of what I know. Thank you to Clayton Wood and ICO 2.0 for having me talk right now. So let's get started. Now, first of all, as for what we're going to be going over, we're going to briefly talk about how to prioritize your initiatives, how to write out your goals in a template that's going to make sense, and then how to operationalize what you're doing. And then we'll have a very brief summary with next steps at the end. If you want a summary of this workshop, including all the templates and forms that we're going to be going through, just send me an email, jim@jimmccarthy.com. That's JIM@JIMMCCARTHY.com. I'd love to share that information with you as well as additional resources. Okay, so first of all, the part about prioritizing all of your initiatives. We all have a lot of stuff going on all the time. And I remember when I was at BlueLithium about 10 years ago, my team, we were really struggling with what to prioritize. We had a lot of people, a lot of different ideas. And my boss, Dave Zimini, came into the room, very smart guy, very talented, and he said, well, let's do a 2x2 matrix. And on one part of the matrix, we're going to have the level of effort from low to high. And then on the y-axis, we're going to have impact from low to high. So you have a 2x2 matrix, level of effort, and impact. And what you get in doing this is we went through every initiative we had, any great idea we had, how we were spending time, what were our time sucks, and we put them all on the whiteboard. What are our different initiatives? What's going on? Is this low effort, high impact? Is this high impact, high effort? And after about 15 minutes, it was very clear to us what we needed to be working on and what we needed to stop working on, right? What we needed to start doing, what we needed to continue doing, and what we needed to stop doing. Okay, and if you think about this from a framework on the template, the way it works is this. You've got the stuff which is high impact, low effort. Okay? That's the low-hanging fruit. That's the stuff that's easy to do. That's the stuff that's easy to handle, that you can knock it off quickly and really start making some quick progress. Okay? And those things you should be doing as fast as you can. Then there's the stuff which is the high impact, high effort. Those are harder initiatives. Maybe it's a big software development project. Maybe it's a new product launch. Maybe it's a big new marketing plan. Maybe it's hiring a whole bunch of people or scaling up a new office, okay? That's high effort but high impact, and definitely you need to be working on those sometimes also. Now, if you go down to the bottom left-hand quadrant, you have the stuff which is low impact, low effort, okay? Little stuff is kind of bothersome. You don't think it's a big deal. You just do a little bit here, you do a little bit there, and suddenly before you know it, you wasted all of your day. And you really haven't moved the needle. So I encourage you to always be aware, what are those things that are low effort, low impact, and don't do them at all. You'll be amazed at what you can ignore and not do for the sake of really focusing on the stuff which is high impact versus low impact. Okay, so to wrap up that previous point, take all of your initiatives, everything you're working on, and put it in that prioritization matrix of level of effort and impact, and pretty quickly you're going to have a good idea of what you should be working on and what you should not be working on. Now, once you do that, then you need to build goals behind how to actually execute and implement the things that you've identified that are important. So that leads us to the next part of goal setting. Okay, Now, when it comes to goal setting, why should we write goals at all, right? Isn't it nice just to have a vague idea of what you want to do? Or is it crystal clear in your mind what goals you're pursuing? Probably not, if you're really honest with yourself. Now, the power of written goals is enormous. Okay, Dr. Gail Matthews is a professor at Dominican University, did a psychological study. She's a psychology professor. And the result of her study was she said that people who wrote down their goals were 42% more likely to achieve them than people who didn't write down their goals. And it gets even better than that. She says giving a friend a weekly progress report increases this rate to 78%. So you almost double the probability of you achieving a goal from taking it from a vague idea to actually writing it down to then giving a person a weekly progress report. Now, weekly progress report can be to your partner, to a friend, to your mom or dad, to a manager, right? To an investor, to an angel investor or a venture capitalist or whoever, right? Or whoever you're reporting to. So this weekly progress report is a very motivating thing based on written goals. There's some nice quotes I like to share. One gentleman, Azim Premji, who's a billionaire businessman from India, he says, if people are not laughing at your goals are too small. Okay, so he definitely believes in the magic of dreaming very big, having ridiculously huge goals, and then finding out that you can actually achieve them. You could be surprised. But on the other hand, sometimes little baby steps can work too. So Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook once said, if you do the things that are easier first, then you can actually make a lot of progress, right? So he's not talking about these incredible, crazy goals. He's actually saying just little goals, baby step, one day at a time, making a little bit of progress, iterate, okay? And they're both probably correct in terms of how to approach goals. Okay, now I'm going to share with you a framework which is called SMART goals. You might have heard about it before, but we're going to go through this template in a little bit more detail. Okay, a SMART goal is a goal which is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time activated. Okay, specific. Okay, now what we're going to talk about is differentiating between a good habit goal and a big achievement goal, right? Because they're different kinds of goals. They're very different. And sometimes people kind of get them confused, or they don't realize that the way they're going to treat one is going to be different than the way they treat the other. So let's start with a good habit goal. A good habit goal that would be a SMART goal would be something like this. Specific, I work out. Measurable, for at least 30 minutes. Achievable, 3 times per week. Relevant, to stay healthy. Time activated, starting this week. Okay, that's a good habit SMART goal. All right, let's take a look at this one piece at a time. Okay, specific, I work out, so it's very clear. In this case, maybe it's running or exercising. Measurable, for at least 30 minutes. You don't just say vaguely, I do it. You can get specific on the time. Achievable, 3 times per week. You didn't say 10 times per week or 3 times per day, right? 3 times per week for you is very achievable. And then relevant, to stay healthy, or remind yourself why you're doing this. And then time activated, starting this week. Okay, that's a nice, crisp, clean, SMART goal for a good habit. Now let's contrast this with the other kind of goal that I talk about, which is a big achievement goal, also a SMART goal. Okay, this is how a big achievement goal might look like in a business setting. Okay, specific, I design a new user experience. Measurable, on Android Oreo, you're very specific about the platform that you're doing this design work on. Achievable, meeting minimum viable product specs. Okay, so it's something that is doable, it's not impossible. Relevant, based on user testing, you're reminding yourself why this is important, why this is going to satisfy the users. And then time activated, this quarter. Not sometime this year, but actually specific to this quarter. Okay, that's a nice, simple, big achievement goal for a person who's a designer or some sort of a product manager, okay? And you can think about what are the sort of things that you're doing, right? And in here, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end to the process, right? Whereas the good habit goal is just something you kind of start doing, You kind of do it over and over and over. You could do it every week for the rest of your life, and that is okay, right? You brush your teeth every day, and you don't plan on changing that very much. You just kind of keep going over time, okay? But a big achievement goal is different in terms of how you do a SMART goal. Okay, let me take it. So when we think about a SMART goal, whether it's a big achievement goal or whether it's a good habit goal, you write out the SMART part of it: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time activated. Let's say, think of that as part A, okay? Question B becomes answering the question, why? And a lot of people, they'll write goals, they'll do SMART goals just great, and they'll never bother to answer why. Okay, relevant might touch on a little bit, but I want to explicitly address this because the why is very important. Adam Grant, who's a wonderful professor at the Wharton School, has done research which indicates that if a person finds their work is meaningful, they're up to 5 times more productive just based on the fact that they find their work meaningful. Okay, and then there's a professor at Yale's Business School, and she's done some wonderful research, and what she found is that people can view their work as a job, a career, or a calling, right? A job, a career, or a calling. And how people interact with those is totally different, right? If you view it as a job, it's just for a paycheck. If you view it as a calling, it's like your life mission or your purpose or what you were put here on the earth to do, okay? And the fascinating thing from our research is it's independent of the job you do. You can be a heart surgeon, you can be a janitor, you can be a web developer, you can be a venture capitalist, and you could approach your work with any of approaches on that spectrum of what's meaningful. So why is very important. The more motivated you are, the more fulfilling it's going to be. And you can define your own purpose however you want to in terms of what you're working on. Okay, I'll give you a little example. Okay, you can say, I want to be part of a blockchain company so I can make a lot of money and live a life of luxury. Okay, I mean, that's appealing to many people. I would not fault anyone for wanting to do that. Okay, that might be the why for some of you. Okay, now, on the other hand, people can say, I want to be part of a blockchain company because it's a revolutionary way to weaken the power of banks and governments. Or it's an incredibly innovative way in order to finance different projects, or a lot of things, right? I mean, blockchain has a lot of different interpretations of how it's going to develop and evolve and the impact it's going to have. Anyway, but the point is that think about the why for whatever goal you write, and the stronger the why is, then the more likely you are going to be able to achieve that goal. So part C, the question you have to answer under the goal setting template is, what are the obstacles to overcome or skills to develop? Obstacles to overcome or skills to develop. And what this is about is, yes, you've written your SMART goal, you've answered the why, but now here you can start anticipating what's going to be hard about it. And the bigger the thing you're taking on, the more impactful it's going to be, the more pushback you're going to have, the more resistance you're going to have. Sometimes it's going to be enormous resistance. So if you can anticipate that, if you can sort of see where it's going to be coming from, then maybe you're not going to be so surprised. Maybe you're not going to be so disappointed when it happens. Maybe you can start strategizing right now. Maybe you can start developing allies who can help you. All right? And similarly, there's going to be skills you might need to develop. And those could be hard skills and those could be soft skills. Hard skills could be as simple as I need to learn this software language, right? It can be soft skills such as I need better negotiation skills, I need better communication skills, I need to be a better manager, I need to learn how to hire people, right? Soft skills, hard skills, obstacles to overcome. But when you spell those out, this is going to be part of how you then develop and operationalize the execution of your goal. When you start really thinking, okay, to get from here to there, I need to do this and this and this and this and this. And the skills to develop and the obstacles to overcome are definitely part of that. So write those out as well. So part D is people to meet. Who do you need to meet who can help you achieve this goal? It could be mentors, it could be experts, it could be consultants, it could be role models of yours, it could be people who've done it before, it can be people you admire, people you've read their blogs, you've seen them on TV, whatever it is. Who are the people that you need to meet who within 5 minutes can direct you from this way to that way, or can give you direction, or have done something 5 years ago or 2 years ago and you're just trying to figure it out right now? And why reinvent the wheel if you can reach out to someone and they can help you? And I mean, the worst thing that happens is they say no, right? The worst thing that happens is you reach out to someone, they ignore your email. Okay, you reach out to someone else, you reach out to enough people, and people will start helping you out. So I encourage you to reach out to the people that you can meet, see who can help you out. That can often really create shortcuts, and also this expands your network in your process of achieving your goal. So part E is how to reward yourself, right? So when I achieve this goal, I will reward myself by. Now, a lot of people struggle with this, or they think, okay, look, I achieved my goal. That was reward in its own right? If I founded this company or got these investors, this is something I wanted, and so to the extent that it's happening, wow, isn't that a reward? But it's not really the same thing, and I think it's very valuable to take time out to celebrate little victories along the way. Sometimes we're spending years working for something. You found a company, you want to have a liquidity event or an IPO or something like that. Obviously, we're talking about ICOs in this virtual summit. But I think it's very important to celebrate little victories along the way, right? And the advice is simply to have the reward kind of be commensurate with what you accomplish. So if you have a little accomplishment, maybe something that you worked on for a week or a month, then maybe you take out someone special that you love for a nice dinner, right? Or you go get yourself a massage, or go to the spa, or do something fun, or play a round of golf, something that you like, right? Little rewards for little accomplishments. Bigger rewards for bigger accomplishments. Okay, if you really work hard for 3 months or 6 months or something, or have some sort of amazing breakthrough or achievement, and you've worked hard on that, then yeah, go away for a weekend, or take a trip for a week or whatever. Maybe it's a shopping thing, but do it. I think what's fun about this is it makes it fun. It's not just grinding away to achieve a goal and then, once you accomplish it, okay, on to another 10 goals that I need to accomplish. But rather it's like you make it fun, you stop and celebrate, and it becomes almost kind of a gamification. And if you share this with someone you care about and say, hey, honey, if I achieve this goal, I'm going to take you to that restaurant that you really wanted to go to, that's fun. And then you're going to get support from that person saying, yeah, hey, I want you to accomplish that, Jim. Go to it. Okay? So this becomes more fun, and the reward is really an important part of it. So we've talked about how to prioritize your goals. We've talked about the whole SMART goal format and the different questions to answer. Now we get to the part where things often fall apart, or where nothing happens because people don't know how to operationalize their goals. They don't know how to actually put it into a time frame or a roadmap so that they actually know what to do this quarter, this month, this week, today. All right? So the way to think about it, first of all, you need to remember that Brian Tracy, who's a great sales trainer and motivational speaker, he puts it this way. He says, 1 minute invested in goal setting will save you 10 minutes in execution. Right? 1 minute in goal setting is going to save you 10 minutes in execution. I think it's even more than that. So if you think about it, if you write out your annual goals, whether they're your personal annual goals, whether your professional or your work annual goals, maybe that could take anywhere from 1 to 5 hours. Maybe it even takes 10 hours or longer if you're doing like a whole marketing campaign or some sort of a product roadmap. Okay, but let's just say annual goals might take you anywhere from 1 to 5 hours. Then you break that down into your monthly or quarterly goals. That could take somewhere like 20 minutes, or maybe if it's an even hour, once a month or once a quarter, to say, okay, these are our annual goals. Let's start working backwards, reverse engineering. These are our quarterly goals. And then you keep going. Okay, if this is the monthly goal, then what are the weekly goals that we need to do in order to achieve that monthly goal? And then you keep on working it backwards to the daily goals, okay? again, you take these huge complex initiatives and you break them up into little baby steps like Mark Zuckerberg was talking about. Okay, you just reduce them to very actionable, simple, manageable, achievable things that you can focus on and execute on. And then you just keep going. Then you just keep going. Okay, that's the fun of execution. Okay, so, and what's cool about this also is you can think about, okay, this year, yeah, there's like 25 things I need to do, but I don't need to all do them this month. I can do 2 of them this month. I can do 2 of them next month. I can do 3 of them the month after that. Those might be big achievement goals versus the good habit goals, which are just cranking away in the background the whole time. Okay, but this is all part of the process of how to operationalize. So, for example, for a good habit goal, what you can do is you can break it out in your calendar and you can put it in your calendar what you do. You can put in your calendar, have lunch every day at 12:30, or leave the office so I can have dinner with my family and children every day at 6:30, or work out every morning, or meditate every morning at 7:30 in the morning. Whatever it is, call your mom and dad once a week just to tell them you love them, right? Whatever it is, you can put it in your calendar, especially if it's sort of a good habit goal. And this is a way to operationalize and prioritize on your calendar what's really important. Andy Grove, who is the CEO of Intel, Time Magazine Man of the Year, he said, the more that you can create routine in your life, the more you will reduce your stress, right? Some people think routine is boring, but given how crazy it is with the way we work and the way we live today, if you can implement a little bit of routine into your life, it actually will create a little bit of normalcy and repetitiveness in a way that will reduce your stress with all the other craziness going on. So that's one way that you operationalize a good habit goal, is to actually put it in your calendar. So we've talked about how to operationalize a good habit goal. Now I'm going to talk briefly about how to operationalize a big achievement goal. Remember, big achievement goals have a beginning, middle, and an end to them. Okay, they're linear. There's a real progression as they go. So you might break it down, for example, by month, and you might say, okay, in the first month, if the goal is to do a new user experience on Android Oreo, maybe in month 1, it's discuss with teammates your current user experience challenges, review the research, and also in month 1, it's identify resources available to help. Okay, and that's all you do in month 1. Then month 2, you move on to the next stuff, which is, okay, activities and results, define product strategy and user experience strategy, get sign off to proceed. Okay, that's not a month 1 thing, it's a month 2 thing. And also in month 2, begin implementing the improvements. Okay, and that's all you do in month 2. Then you think, okay, month 3, what do we do next? Okay, little baby steps, what comes next? Okay, month 3, get feedback both internally and externally using lean agile processes, for example. And then continue iterations, do a soft launch, then do a hard launch. That's month 3, right? You're breaking these down into very digestible pieces. And then at the end of that, the reward for a nice successful launch, maybe you take your teammates out to lunch at a nice restaurant close to where you work and you celebrate that way, okay? There's no magic here, but I find that people get very freaked out sometimes figuring out how to get from here to there. And if you just break it down into little bite-sized pieces, this is the implementation, this is the operationalization of goals, which greatly increases the probability that you're going to achieve them. So wrapping up now, just as a quick summary, we've gone through a whole process for how to prioritize your goals based on level of effort and impact for whatever it is you're working on, all the initiatives, all the projects. Then based on that, we've gone through a whole template for how to write out your goals. Okay, remember, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time activated. That's the SMART goals. We talked about the good habit goals. We talked about the big achievement goals. For both of them, it's important to ask yourself why. That's part B, right? Part A is the SMART part of it. B is ask why, and make sure to dig deep, really deep as to why this is important to you. Then part C was obstacles to overcome or skills to develop. Part D was people to meet, allies, mentors, people who can help you out. Sometimes you start making this list and you realize, wow, there's 10 more people I hadn't even thought about. Okay, part E is when I achieve this goal, how am I going to reward myself? So for how to operationalize things, we talked about investing a little bit of time up front for your annual goals, your quarterly goals, your monthly goals, your weekly goals, and taking time to write those out and put them in your calendar if it's a good habit goal, or create a roadmap if it's a big achievement goal. And then finally, next steps for you. If you want to receive a summary of this workshop, if you want to see all the different templates, if you want additional resources and reading, just send me an email. You can send it to jim@jimmccarthy.com. That's JIM@JIMMCCARTHY.com. There you can find descriptions of the different workshops I do. I do workshops on leadership, workshops on peak performance, workshops on happiness, how to reduce stress, how to boost the confidence of people on your team, how to have them be grateful and enjoy their lives and enjoy the journey. Also do very specific stuff, more stuff on goal setting, more stuff on how to hire great people, how to set up teams for success, secrets of success in Silicon Valley teams. So definitely reach out to me if you'd like me to do a keynote or a different sort of a workshop, or you'd like me to work one-on-one with your company. Happy to do that as well. Okay, and then I also donate a portion of my speakers' fees to the American Cancer Society. And then finally, you can follow me on social media as well, whether it's LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube channel, all right? Great for videos. Okay, I'd like to leave you with these final parting thoughts. To manage your goals is to manage your life. To manage your goals is to manage your life. And I want you to imagine your life. When you go through the prioritization matrix and you go through all the stuff you have to do and all your initiatives, both in your professional life and in your personal life, and you write them all out. And then imagine your life when you follow the goal process for writing out your goals and everything about why and people you need to meet and obstacles to overcome and how you're going to reward yourself. And then imagine your life when you actually accomplish those goals, celebrate with people that you love, and feel really great for what you've accomplished. When I imagine this sort of life for you, I think you'll be really happy. So from the bottom of my heart, I wish each and every one of you lots of continued happiness and success on your journey going forward. Thank you.